Hi friends, Jen here with Serenity Hill Farmstead. Today we are going to talk about valerian. If you saw my video where I made all of these tinctures and oils, I mentioned that we were going to go over each of them individually. So this is the first video for that. If you didn't see that, I'm going to put a link in the description box down there so you can check out that video and you can see how I made all of these things in one day, in one afternoon. It's super easy, it's super quick. It took 45 minutes. But you can check out that video when you're done here, and then you can be kind of up to date moving forward with all of these. Now, valerian is a root. We are going after the root. Ideally, when you are growing valerian, this is assuming you want to grow valerian. It takes a little bit. You want to let it overwinter for a season. Now, we are in a zone where that's tricky to do. We are in zone 5A, cusp of 4B, and our farm, we're actually lucky that it's got kind of a little microclimate, and that puts us into like zone 5B, but it's still zone 5, and we don't have a super long growing season. But what you can do is there's some practices, and I can discuss this in another video, but there's some practices that you can do to kind of help insulate the plant to help it come back. And if you have a mild winter, it will come back. But you really do need a longer growing season, not just to keep it alive, but to help these roots get bigger. And the bigger they are, the more herb you have to make your herbal preparations with. So you want the root. The root is wonderful. It is a pretty strong smelling root, but I think it smells incredible. And it tinctures very, very well. The two ways we use valerian in our family is in a tea and in this tincture. Now, valerian tincture is faster. It's faster, it's more potent, it's concentrated. If you don't have time or don't want to bother with making a tea, this is the way to go. Typically, when you are making a tea with a root, you're doing something called a decoction. And a decoction is a tea, but it's a different process. In totally simple terms, you're basically actively boiling the herb for a short period of time, letting it simmer, and that pulls all the properties out best. You can do it in an infusion, but you're not going to pull all of the properties out the way you would if it was a decoction. And a decoction is like the gold standard for roots, thick berries, dense herbs, twigs, things like that. Mushrooms is another one. So that's how you would make valerian a tea. Now, valerian by itself is not tasty. It does not taste wonderful. It's a root. It tastes like dirt. It's not good. But when you combine it with other herbs like lavender and chamomile and peppermint, it really does have a nice flavor. In our sleep tea, we put, let's see if I can remember off the top of my head. I can't remember it all, guys. Can't remember all of the recipes. But it does have lavender, chamomile. It has skullcap in there. That's another one that tastes awful, so you want to mix that with things. Does it have peppermint? You know where you could go to get this is I have a link in the description, and I have 10 of my herbal tea recipes, tried and true. They're absolutely delicious. And you can snag that ebook down in the link in the description box, and that's got that sleep assist tea recipe and a whole bunch of other ones, like 9 other recipes. But talking specifically about the tincture today, this is concentrated, so you need significantly less of it for it to be effective. Now, I'm talking about sleep benefits. It's great for sleep because it has a lot of good, strong tranquilizing benefits. It is a nervine, it's a sedative, and it is an analgesic. So what an analgesic is something that can help pain. Now, if you are in agonizing pain, this is not going to help you. But if you have mild kind of like, some musculoskeletal pain because you had a hard day or you're sore, or you've got a little bit of knee pain from some arthritis or something like that, mild back pain, this can help with that. This can help relax that, kind of ease that pain, ease the tension that your body kind of naturally is in when you are in pain, and help you get to sleep. Now, it's not going to knock you on your butt kind of sleep, but this definitely, if you're laying down and trying to go to sleep, this will help you get to sleep and stay asleep for a while. So valerian, absolute fabulous herb to have on your home apothecary shelf. Super easy to make, and definitely a top 10 herb for our family that we always have to keep in stock. Now let's talk about the warnings and contraindications in valerian. If you are someone that has a lot of high anxiety, tendencies. If you are very kind of high strung, and there's a way to tell. If you look at your pupils, if your pupils always run on the real small side in normal light, okay? Not like if you're standing in the bright sun, because everybody's are like that then, but if you're standing kind of in a regular room and your pupils are always really small, that means that your parasympathetic system is kind of running in overdrive. People that have that kind of situation, they don't react well to valerian. People that are in that category can have an opposite effect with valerian. So you can actually become stimulated by valerian rather than having that relaxing sedative effect. So if you are someone that fits that category, this is not your best option for your sedative nervine kind of effects. If that were the case, then I would personally, if that were me, I would go with more of a combination with chamomile and lavender and passion flower being the big one for sleep in that. So valerian has got a lot of really great properties. All the herbs do. You just have to make sure you're doing a little research, and that can be the frustrating part with herbalism, is figuring out what works. Because I'm sitting here saying, this is a fabulous herb, this is a wonderful herb, but if you fit that category of your parasympathetic system is in overdrive, it's in excess, then this is going to not work for you, and that's incredibly frustrating because that makes your life more difficult. You need to do a little research, and herbalism can be trial and error with some things, so it just takes time. Unfortunately, that's the frustrating part. But you know what? If you were taking an Ambien as a pharmaceutical, you would have the same situation. An Ambien for some people can do nothing. It can stimulate people. It's the same thing. So finding the right herb for you in your given situation just takes a little time. That is part of the reason why I put out that herbal recipe book, because there's 10 different options for 10 different things, and some things repeat themselves. So like I'll have a sleep tincture, I also have a sleep tea, and I've got a digestive tea, and I've got a digestive tincture. So they're a little different because everybody is different and everybody's bodies respond differently to these herbs. So just give it some time. It's totally worth diving into and experimenting with. Just as always, make sure any kinds of medications you're on or any kind of prior medical conditions that you have, make sure you do your research and make sure you don't have any contraindications there. So that is it for everything on valerian. It's a wonderful, wonderful herb. I hope you give this a chance. If you do, let me know down in the comments how valerian works for you and your family. I would love to hear your experiences. And that is it for this one. So stay tuned for the next one. We're going to go through all of these guys here. If you haven't yet hit the subscribe button, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That'd be a good way to keep you up to date when the next one comes out. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.